The following is a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
From the birthplace of modern winemaking, Sonoma, California, welcome to The Winemakers. Local experts Sam Couture, Bart Hansen, and Brian Casey, along with host John Myers, invite you to listen in as they discuss all facets of winemaking. So sit back, pour yourself a glass, and let's hear what the guys have to say this week.
Did that pour like rocks?
Clunk, 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 clunk.
Clunk. Like river rocks 400 feet down tumbling into your wine glass.
Only the best.
Because that's what it smells like.
Is it the Rocks District?
It's the Rocks District.
It
Cool.
Surprise.
Okay, cool. Of Milton, Freewater, Oregon, Walla Walla, Washington.
Wait a minute, where are we? It's raining like we're in Oregon.
It does feel like the Pacific Northwest out there today.
Welcome, Brooke Robertson from Delmas. Congratulations on your SJR Syrah getting in the top 100 wines for Jeb Dunnuck. You got number 10.
Yeah,
I know.
10. Just barely squeaking into the top there.
You made the headline picture. You made You made the spread. That's all that matters.
I mean, if you can use it on the gram, right?
Yeah.
Use it on the gram.
Yeah. No, it's all for the gram. That's the only reason that we do anything is just
Right.
photo images.
Well, because especially now, because it's been given the blessing of number 10.
Yeah.
That everything else is sold, right? You're done.
Well,
Because it's sold out
that'd be
anyway.
nice. I
sold
would
out
love
anyway.
to say, Bart, I would love to go, you know what? There's nothing. We have absolutely nothing. But the truth is, we have wine for sale, folks.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
Go to the website now. No, it's
That's
I feel
www.delmas.
wines.com. Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. I am so blown away by it and honored and just really, really cool. So
Chris here? Well, got answered. 4 rings at 16,600. Chris is here.
This is great. This is great podcast material. If you're calling 16,600
holiday orders.
If you haven't
listening now, the ground shipping deadline has passed.
if you haven't gotten the
but
text
we can
message,
get your overnights out if you text.
if you haven't got your text message from maybe Sam Couture.
No, they're really
Maybe
from. They really are from me.
No, not on my phone. They're not.
it's a possibility.
Yeah, my dad's like,
Totally
"Why did
possible.
Brian text me this morning about the shipping deadline?"
Are you serious? Well, I'm so confused because I don't know anymore what is you and what is Red Chirp. And so I had to redo what I thought was the Red Chirp one as Red Chirp and then keep you as you. But then now when I sent a text this morning to you guys, it came up as Sam Red Chirp. So I'm fucking confused.
Weird.
This moment in Dadstagramming brought to you by Red Chirp. If you haven't checked it out,
Are you guys using Red Chirp?
No, I have no idea.
Do you know anything about that?
No, what
this
is
is
it?
this is the texting service.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have to
I haven't-
check out our
gonna have to
direct to
look into
consumer.
Right?
The DTC conference.
That's where we learned about it.
That's where we
in,
learned about it.
That's coming up.
It's in Monterey.
It's in Monterey.
January 21st, 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah.
All of the early bird specials are gone, but I believe you can still get tickets for full price.
They pay us for
Wednesday,
these things.
Thursday. No, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Paid for by the DTC conference. And
I want to get on something more important. Let's talk about this artwork on this bottle of wine.
oh yeah,
Let's talk about the wine. 'Cause
yeah.
I know you said it needed time when you, but that was 5 minutes ago, and it tastes great.
Oh, thank you.
So
This is so this one is field blend of Grenache. It's mostly Grenache. It's like 86%. So technically, we could just call it Grenache.
But does it change every year a little bit? So
Yeah. So then there's a little bit of Cinsault, Syrah, and Mourvèdre in this one.
that old Cinsault? Wait, don't you have some old Cinsault?
No,
Or is
I
that the
did.
Carignan?
No.
Wait,
isn't the Cinsault is? Let's all put ourselves back.
ooh,
in
this is really good. Yum.
the vineyard, looking up at the hills. There's rocks everywhere. Next to the parking lot, there's that just on stakes.
Yeah.
Little
that's the
tiny-
It's really
that's
really
the Cinso
small.
block.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
9. It's on a 9x9 grid, and it's individually staked vines. And we planted it in 2019.
Now I remember.
It looks like
Yeah.
it
I will
looks
post.
like
looks
I will
older.
post
It
a
looks like
picture of it.
It's an old soul vineyard. It looks
yes.
like it should
Exactly.
be,
Okay.
a 1919 planting instead of a 2019 planting.
God, we could have
Yeah.
only hoped. Yeah, someday it'll be very old and huzzah! But for now, it's still a young buck. But with the size of those Cinso clusters, I mean, this is like 6% Cinso. Like it's still quite a bit, which is fantastic. And then future vintages of this, like we didn't make a 22 of this wine because we used the Grenache in the blend for this other wine that we'll have shortly. But for the 23, it's real similar where there's like there's a little smattering of things in with the Grenache.
Maybe we should actually
Yeah.
or should we
Artwork, and then should we
halfway through we'll tell
halfway
people
through,
who the fuck we're talking to.
We'll start over.
I mean, if they don't know,
We'll figure it out. We'll get there. So the art on
Google
this,
mini
this
head trained vine.
Yeah.
And then
you'll find it. Yeah, you'll get the.
go back to episode.
I actually looked it up.
That was in 21.
I think it was
21.
145 something. I looked it up after we texted last week.
Yeah.
And I forgot. So I'll look while you're talking about the painting.
So this is a painting by an artist by the name of Callahan. It's really teeny tiny. It lives in my parents' house. They've had it since the early 80s. And so we took a snapshot of it for the label. So that's where it comes from.
Did you reach out to the artist and be like, "Yo, here's"?
We did that
A
with
case of
Ira
wine?
Yeager. We did that with Ira Yeager. So when Ira Yeager, Napa Valley artist, has since passed away, but was just phenomenal. So we have now 2 of his paintings. One of them we use for our Magnum only bottling called the Peddler. It's of this French revolutionary. He's got a vat of wine on his back, ducks in his hand, and all of this really cool stuff. So, and we got permission from him to be able to use the artwork that we purchased from him.
I think it's a great thing for an artist. Like, what a cool.
It's really
If I was an
cool.
artist, I would
Yeah.
want my shit on bottles of wine because then I could bring them to like parties or give them as gifts.
Like, hey,
Check it out.
like free advertising plus like decent wine in the bottle. So, but before he died, his team purchased a couple of those Magnums, and they live at his gallery, which is in Calistoga, which is really cool. So, but yeah, so this is another artist that we utilized for that artwork, which is fun.
I mean, if people want to see it, obviously go to the website or look at our Instagram feed because it'll be on there. But it's kind of a cross section of what I imagine a bunch of rocks underground look like, right? Like maybe not the rocks that you guys have, but rocks.
But rocks in general.
Yeah, it's kind of like
And then this yellow van.
yeah.
Do you see the yellow van?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like a cross of rocks and that painting from
the yellow
Good Times.
What?
From Good Times, the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that.
It's got like the
As
colors
in a
in
lot
it.
of like even our flagship wine, which has this like encaustic painting on the Syrah, like a lot of our stuff is kind of like a Rorschach test.
Do you know what that word means?
Oh, totally.
You do?
No.
No, I have no idea either. When we were coming up with the label, we were like, okay, we got to find something really cool. So an encaustic painting is like layers and layers of wax, just built up on top of each other. So it's flat on the label, but like the physical representation of it is like that thick. It's just layers and layers and layers on top of each other. It's really cool.
But if you put that in a gallery under lights, would it melt?
That's a fantastic question. I have no idea. I don't know.
My mom has
The right lights.
My mom has some artwork that was done. I can't remember who it is, but he uses wax. He used tar.
Oh, cool.
He used blood. Like really, really kind of dark
Viscous materials.
Yeah. and yeah, built up.
Yeah.
Like it has so much texture to it when you look at it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
It's what makes the painting, quite frankly, is all the texture.
Is the textures of it. Yeah, exactly. Hard to represent on a 2D piece of paper, but that's where like a lot of our stuff, it's just kind of what do you see in the image of the label, which is always, I mean, isn't wine just an interpretation of what the individual thinks of it?
Subjective.
To get philosophical.
It's a subjective
time capsule.
To a fault.
Yep.
Time capsule of poetry.
There you go.
So if you didn't listen to
Says Phil
episode,
Couturi.
So great. Yeah.
Remember, he said something like that. It was much nicer and
Much
longer.
more eloquent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was basically.
Lovely.
and then trailed off. Episode 219 was. So this is the return of Brooke Delmas Robertson.
Hey.
Were you at Grenache Fest? I'm assuming you were.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the
We were
one?
pouring.
Yeah.
You guys were there. You were pouring the second night.
Phil was there. right?
Phil was there. Okay.
I don't know who poured our wine though, because Phil left that morning.
Oh.
Yeah, I ended up having some family stuff and had to go to LA.
Yeah.
So Phil took my spot on the. Usually it's the other way around where I'm filling in.
Right?
But we sent him up, and he got to hang out with Dave, with the Walla Walla Land Company. What's his name? Dave Varnick? Vanek?
David Wannick.
Wannick.
Yeah.
And he just sent me the picture of the wines they drank at lunch.
Oh no.
And
Insane.
it was
Bonkers.
stupid. And I went,
Bonkers. Cool.
you're welcome.
Yeah. David
You're
has
welcome. Enjoy your 6 a.m. flight out
right.
of,
Good
out of the
luck.
Tri-Cities.
David's got a really cool brand up there called Chimento, and they're making some just insane wine.
Are they in like a funny shaped bottle? No, that's a different one.
It's some of them are. They make kind of a range. They do Rhones and they do Bordeaux and they do some stuff. So I believe that some of their Rhones are in like the Sinequinon-esque bottle, the pirate bottle, which is super cool.
Tremento.
Yeah.
Tremento.
David's a big Italian wine guy, so he has just a phenomenal collection of Barolos and just
Nice.
stuff. Yeah, really, really cool guy. Is doing some fun stuff in the Rocks District. So I'm sure that lunch was insane.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So what's up?
And then they expected them to like speak at a conference.
No.
At a
Yeah,
seminar like an hour later.
Who are you people?
So, Brooke, what's going on in the Rocks District right now, or I should say, since we've last seen you?
Oh, well, a lot.
Yeah?
Hospice happened up there
I
this
know.
last year. Freaking amazing. That was really cool.
Should have been there, Bart.
I trust me, I realize that. Have you claimed it for the next one?
So they're kind of keeping things tight to the vest. I don't know. I think it would make sense that they kind of return to Paso for this next year, and maybe it's like every other. You know, I don't know. Maybe it turns into like a Blackberry Farm.
Becomes
thing,
like the
and it's
Olympics.
just a one-off.
Every 4 years,
There you
hospice
go.
comes to your town.
Right.
Wouldn't that be sweet? Just a traveling road show.
Well, you guys were.
I'd love to see it back,
What
but-
Vicky was saying is that the city, the town, the people, and the government or whatever were very welcoming.
Yeah.
And so she,
It was a good feeling.
it made
Yeah.
things much easier for her, which
Did you just
was
say
nice.
the traveling roan show or road show?
I said road show.
Oh, I heard roan
but
show.
road show. That's
The traveling roan show.
team. That's already been copyrighted. Don't worry.
Exactly. Vicky, if you're listening,
By the time this drops,
I like that
traveling
though.
road
That,
show.
that's brilliant. That would be fun.
bring out old wine. It's the Antiques Roan show. No, I'll stop.
Antique
I'll
Roan
stop
show?
there. Not going any further.
Were you guys sad when we all left? Like we
sad.
kind of took
I was
over this
so
town,
yeah.
and then like
It was,
everyone's
all
like,
the energy.
it's like
just,
pulling the
left.
drain in the tub, and
it was
you're
the
like,
bummer.
oh,
Did you
I know
sleep
that
for
guy.
A week? Probably is probably.
It
the
was, there were a
more-
lot of fun evenings,
Yeah.
for sure, when everybody was in town, which was lovely. But yeah, it was a bummer to see everybody leave. Also because, you know, so much of this community is like a lot of California. So like us in the Northwest doing the Rhone thing, like there's not as many of us. It's kind of like Southern Oregon, the Rocks District, and that's kind of it. So it's a lonely world up north for us Rhone folk. But you know, it was great to see everybody there.
It's funny. So, what's the name of the college? Whitman.
Whitman.
Yeah.
There's actually 3 universities in Walla Walla, which
There
is
are?
nuts. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Was Whitman on Dane's list?
Well, it wasn't initially, but it came up, and then he got something from this website that they use called Score, and Whitman was a college that, because of what they knew about him, that they would accept him.
Oh, wow.
It was like one of those situations.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's a great liberal arts school. It's
Yeah.
like real liberal arts
Right.
school.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like when you're walking around downtown Walla Walla, you're like, oh, there's the witty kids. Like you can spot them a mile away.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it's
What's
great.
her name went to Whitman that was on the show?
I know that lady.
Deviani
Deviani went to Whitman.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
from Valdemar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was cool.
Yeah.
No, I tried to talk to my daughter about it, but it was a no.
You're just so you could go visit her. Like, you're
I was
here.
planning on
There's
doing
the
it.
school.
I'm like, hey, you can go to school up there. I'll move. I'll work for Delmas.
There you go.
We can do
Yeah.
a food and wine thing.
I love it.
Would be kind of
Brian,
cool.
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Some opportunities. And
There's
she
definitely-
said, no, there's way too many white people.
They're on. No, she is not wrong. It
That's what
is,
she said.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
And
okay.
she knows that without even visiting.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know how she knew that. Must be through TikTok.
She pulled up the demographic. She pulled up the demo website and broke it down. She knows. She knows things we don't know. The dark web.
It's
The Gen Z web. There's shit on there you have no idea.
can't even access.
Can't even
Cannot
find.
even get it.
Don't even know the keywords.
Exactly.
You don't have the Riz for that, Brian.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Fact, you're a little sus. Yeah. So what are you doing down here? Why are we
here-
so lucky to see
Yeah.
you during the week?
Well, I haven't been back down to Napa in a little over a year, which is like the first time in my entire life that I have spent that far in time away from this area. So it's been driving me bonkers. And season is over. Wines are to bed. Vines are buried. So
Vines are buried.
vines are buried. So it's time. It is time to escape.
Is it freezing up there yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's in the 30s routinely. We haven't gotten like a deep freeze yet, which thank God. But it's definitely cold. So
Now, remind
this
me-
ain't much better right now, though. I'll
You
tell you.
prune and then bury, or you
No,
bury
so-
unpruned?
Yeah, we bury unpruned and then
And then cover it up with dirt?
dirt.
Right.
Yeah. So we have 9-foot row spacing, which is how we're able to do that. So we bury the for those that don't know, we have a
You haven't listened to episode 219.
there you go.
Of the Winemakers
For
Podcast.
reference sake, we have head trained vines at SJR Vineyard, which is our family estate for our winery Delmas, and it gets wicked cold up north, and so we bury the heads of our vines every year with the soil from the vine row, and then we unbury it and prune it in the springtime. So it just kind of protects from like when we get -0, which happens every so often.
Does it take a while for them to kind of go back to a shape? You know what I mean?
No, I mean the spur positions are pretty hardy, and there's a lot of where we're located within the Rocks District appellation. There's more soil in between our cobbles and gravels, and so and it's pretty light. It's light loess material that is that populates the rest of Washington State and Eastern Oregon. So it's pretty light. So the spur positions are established, and it doesn't really mess with that overly much.
This year's canes are still sticking out of the ground, or are they buried?
No, the canes are up. But
That's what I'm thinking. Okay.
yeah.
right? So canes are out, but we don't care if those freeze because we just prune them down to 2 buds anyway, right? So it's
Okay.
yeah.
I was picturing you guys bending the
bury 'em
canes
to-
down and burying them
No,
down.
that's how we used to do it. So the burial cane method, right? You have your suckers from the base of the vine that you train out during the season, and then you bend them to your will,
Right.
and you stuff them under the soil during the wintertime. But that's super labor intensive,
Yeah.
as opposed to just having a goblay or a bush vine, where the structure is the structure, and then you bury it as is, and then you unbury it as is, and then you prune it 2 bud, 2 bud, 2 bud, 2 bud, and away you go for the season. So.
And then the snow melts, and
snow
you just do the same thing in reverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we keep kind of tooling around with this idea though, and since the head train vine has been established, we're really seriously thinking about like, do we need to bury this?
Or just put blankets.
From year to year? Yeah, little mini
vine blankets.
Hand knit. Right. Yeah, little blankets over each one. But is that really necessary?
Just
going forward, or?
Leave a row you don't like anyway, unburied, and see what happens next year.
Well, so the Cinsault, right, that is fully head trained. I mean, those heads are up at like 26 to 28 inches. So we don't bury that. We haven't had to cut that down. So are we just being? Is it? I talked to. We work with a really awesome guy named Nick Mackey, who's kind of our like operations in the vineyard guy, and he executes things. And we've been having this conversation for like the last year of like, did we actually need to cut everything down to the ground before? Or was that just our ignorance and inexperience of this region and panic at seeing like 70-80% bud death in the springtime? Did we really need to do that? Or could we just have left it and the vines recover and secondaries and tertiaries push and you still have fruit? And because this last year we had a situation where there was no inversion layer. So turning on fans to move warm air down did nothing. First time that's happened since like 1951. So fairly detrimental. And people left 3, 4, 5 bud spurs and then had to deal with the excess during the spring. And it was just massive costs in canopy management and trying to mitigate that. And then the crop load was too high because everything pushed that they didn't think was going to push. And, way too much fruit and things weren't ripening, all the struggles that come along with that. So, or do you just go, all right, I'm going to prune this like normal and we get what we get? I don't know. I don't have the answer, but
there is a really like careful balance that you have to play because you have to get that fruit ripe.
Have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you have the freeze on the other end of the spectrum, the other end of the calendar.
So if you have too much fruit out there, you're screwed either way, So it's
not to mention it just won't make as good a wine.
It won't make as good wine. Exactly. Right. Exactly. So if we're trying to keep it's all a balance, right? Like you're trying to keep quality level up, but you're trying to keep crop load within reason so that things shut down, so that you don't get the freeze hit, so that et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we're playing around with it, but in future, I'm very hopeful for a time frame where I don't have to bury anything in the vineyard. Wouldn't that be lovely?
It would.
So
help some farming costs for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see, but
All right, so you're just here visiting.
I'm here hanging out. I was hanging out with my good friend Leyland Flaherty. She is sort of a marketing DTC gal, and so I was picking her brain on things that we can do to improve our customer interactions and figure out how we can better structure our clubs to be able to serve more people. And
will you share some of that with us?
Yeah, well, we have like
her phone number.
Yeah.
Can we get
all
that
the
info
expert fees? Wouldn't that be
hourly
great?
rate?
Yeah. So we have 3 different clubs right now where you get 2 shipments a year of either 3 bottles, 6 bottles, or 12 bottles, and so just kind of trying to structure that with We're to the point now in our evolution where we're making 4 or 5 wines every year. I mean, we started with just making a singular wine, and so that made it really easy. And now we have different wines. We have the Grenache, we have a Viognier, we have a Syrah Co-Ferment, we have this Rhone blend here. We've got stuff. So trying to figure out who gets what and when. Right. So that it's equitable, so that people don't feel like, oh, well, if I'm going to join your club and I really want this, but I can't have it. Why is that? So just trying to be fair to everybody. And
do some people want reds only?
Some people want reds only.
Non-punitive wine club membership.
Yeah. Right?
Seriously. I mean, it's to make it so people don't feel like they're punished for not being in it or not being at the right level. You're just like, non-punitive.
You want to make it fair. You want to make it fair to everybody and accessible as can be, being a under 1,000 case winery.
So I was wondering, okay, you guys are still under 1,000.
We're still, yeah. I mean, the vineyard footprint is, realistically 10 acres. And we're planting some new stuff this year, which is exciting. And so,
like what? We
have a different clone of Grenache that we're doing, more so, thank God.
Which clone?
We're doing the 362.
The on top
362. I would love a looser clustered structure. So we're going to go in with that. More so, Beaucastel clone 4.1. And then we're going to do some Mourvedre, more Viognier because
it's fucking delicious.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, there's not enough just for Brian.
There's not enough. Brian is taking all of our allocated Viognier. We would love to be able to produce more of that. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to also plant some Grenache Blanc, which I'm very excited about. Ooh. And Burbelang.
Oh, okay.
Brian is moving.
So wait a minute.
Get geeky on
so
it.
no Claret
Brian's
Blanche?
going to Whitman College.
The acid on that one is a little too high for what I'm looking to do.
Right.
It's also, the reality of plant material in the Northwest is very, very limited. And it's taken me 3 years to get enough of the Burbelang to do. So we purchased some budwood from FPS. We did this legally. We purchased budwood from FPS, brought it to...
You didn't just bring home a lot of Christmas sweets one summer?
Yeah, exactly. So, and they have like 2 vines of it at FPS, right? So it's like the number of buds that you're getting like, 10 to 20 buds.
Right.
And so it's taken a while to grow that up to be able to do like the couple of rows that we're trying to do with it. But I think it'll be really cool.
What are you going to do with it?
We're going to do a white blend
of Grenache Blanc,
Burbelang, and Viognier.
You're going to put that Viognier?
I'm going to put the Viognier. I'm going to put a small amount, Brian. Small amount.
Oh, I can't
small
wait.
amount of the Viognier.
Sounds delicious.
I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah, totally.
Brian says with a very judgmental kind of attitude.
How dare you?
There's no way whatever you'll do will be as good as my Viognier.
But it's, it's acid, right? Like and that's something that in the Rocks district is not that we particularly struggle with, but if you're looking at it on paper, like the TA is very, very low. They're like maybe 4 or 5 at best.
Yeah.
So do you get that acid in the wines? Yeah. I mean, you can taste it. It's on your palate. It creates a level of freshness, but it's also like in conjunction with, that saline like through line that you get from the quote unquote minerality. Like that's what's bumping that up. So if we could have some actual acid in there, what would that do?
Yeah. No Marsanne, no Roussanne. Grenache Blanc even, right? Is
it's a later ripener, right?
Yeah.
So it can be a struggle, but the way that we're going to try to do it, so we're going to do it on a bit of a wider spacing. I'm going to try my damnedest to water it very limitedly.
Well, you guys have water.
We have water.
Yeah.
It's not for lack of water, but it's for, could we do it? Yeah. Could we make these vines self-sustaining so that we don't have to do it? I don't know. The Cinsault is dry
like
farm,
the water sticks around.
It does, no. And we're also, we're in a region where there's other crops that need more water. So apples need way more water. Peaches need way more water. The cherries, my God. So trying to be responsible to our region at the same time, because the water, it's dry, it's going down. It's the aquifer is not at the same level.
Well,
it's not getting as much recharge. So
that's what I came home with the most visually in my head was when we got there, we're like, holy shit, everything's green.
Yeah.
Because when growing up here in Sonoma County, you remembered when it was rolling green hills, and it's not really like that. Definitely not as much as it used to be, but up there it was nice to see
in April
green and sprinkler systems on, and whatever we thought was mint that they were growing, but it wasn't mint. It's alfalfa. Yeah, tons of alfalfa. Yeah,
which uses a lot of water.
It uses so much water.
It must, because those things were
they're
going
minty green.
Well, and that was my first. When I went up there, it was hot as shit. It was the middle of July the first time I went up there, and but there's water everywhere.
Yeah.
Like from a Northern California perspective, like the river through downtown was running, and I went and hung out in Trey Bush's backyard.
Yeah.
And there's
Sleight of hand.
there's like a spring in his backyard, and there's just like a creek flowing out of, and it's like in downtown Walla Walla. It's like the suburbs. And the flip side was like all the growers were talking about there wasn't enough water and there wasn't a drought, and like everywhere you look there's fucking sprinklers on, like blasting water, and you can tell there's people just like watering their fields because they have to use their water rights so that
it's the use it or
so
lose
they got
it.
them next
Use
they
it
got
or
them
lose
next
it.
year, and you're like, oh, it's a different water stress than what we feel, but you feel it. You feel
It's
it too.
different. Yeah, I mean, you feel it, but it's also too of like that. I mean, as you guys know, like water law is so antiquated. It's absolutely insane. Nobody understands it. It doesn't make sense to anybody. The use it or lose it thing. Are you kidding me? If you don't need it, don't put it on. Let somebody else use it, and then everybody succeeds. But that's not.
Yeah. That's
how
that
it
budget
works.
crap. What is it in the office? And they're like, we have $650 to spend. Should we get a new copier or a chair?
Exactly, better.
Yeah.
You gotta, like, we don't need it, but
hey,
you gotta buy it.
We gotta buy it. Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't get it next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the challenge. So trying to be as responsible as possible.
USA.
So Brooke, Cinso, what is it about Cinso that makes you
love Cinso.
So is that it? It's just love the wine.
I love the wine.
It does well.
It does well. It's kind of a historical grape for the Walla Walla area, where the
Sam's
remember-
pointing at me, and now I'm remembering
On the
driving
corner.
by and that crazy. That she's not crazy. We were crazy.
and-
she
and,
came out and was like,
like,
"What the hell are you guys doing?
Can I help you guys?
You guys? And we're like,
Whoever like owns that little corner,
And those
she,
are the
she
oldest
lives in the
vines
house across the
in the
across
valley.
the raging irrigation ditch, full of water at all times of year. And
It's
she
dry
pulled up,
now.
and it was like me and Brian, and who else was with us? James
was just
there.
us.
Was James there?
No, I think it was just us
me
because
and
I was
you?
taking pictures.
Well, you were taking the
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah.
And she pulls up, and she's like, excuse me. We're like, oh, we're from a podcast.
yeah. I got a great photo of
Across
her.
the road.
I got a great photo of her. As a matter of fact.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, so
not
those
stoked.
vines on the corner of that, little intersection are, I think they were planted in like 1915 or something. They're very, very old. They've been mowed down and frozen out, and there's
Well, that's what it was. She was actually at, once we sort of calmed
Described
her down,
who you were.
she asked us how they looked, because you guys had a pretty hard freeze.
It was bad. Yeah, it was pretty intense that winter. But there's
Did they come back this year? They're still very good.
Yeah, no, they're doing fine. I mean, those things are
Cheers to
freaking resilient.
what's her name's Cinsa.
Yeah. But they're
Didn't
not in
shoot at us for
production.
trespassing. Yeah, the one on
There's
front.
like
free water.
six
She had a
vines.
shotgun in her subcontact car for sure.
Get off my land. No, it's but it's really cool that they're like still in existence. And there's a couple of growers some good old boy growers in the area that have just kind of taken it upon themselves to just stake them up and prune them every year and just take care of them, which is great. But yeah, so like the Italian immigrants that came in the late 1800s to Walla Walla, that's what they came with. They came with the Black Prince. They came with Cinso, because there's, as you guys know, like monster clusters, huge berries, lots of flavor, good fruit profile, and easy to make your like 200 gallons of family wine. So
In Walla Walla, like here, if you're a grape grower, you're a grape grower.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe now you're diversifying into, for making tequila or, something like that. Up there, is it more like the Central Valley here where you farm multiple things?
it was kind of the opposite up there, because it's still such a young industry. I mean, some of the oldest vineyards in Walla Walla that are still in production were planted in 96.
Right.
96. Like that's nothing.
Is that Christoph's stuff? Like is
Yeah, there's one other vineyard that was planted before him. A lot of his stuff was planted in 97, his early stuff, and still, going strong and making some incredible wines. But it's so young, and so a lot of the people that got into grape growing up there were orchard guys.
Right.
You know, they were apple guys, and they were like, "Oh, hey, this grape thing is, you know, I guess we'll try this out and see what this is about." And then only recently it's been more intentional. Specifically in the Rocks District, there's been some real growth in the Rocks District that has been coming on for some time, and by some time I mean like the last 8 years. You know, so where people with enology and viticulture backgrounds and education and experience have come into the region and said, okay, we're going to do this. So kind of the opposite. But it's an exciting time to be there now because there's people that, you know what they're doing,
Right, exactly,
and have the means to do things intentionally,
Right.
and which is fantastic. So some real growth happening up there. It's still relatively affordable to buy land, which is always a key factor.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there's some cool things happening.
Who's the new kids on the block up there? You got some new people moving in?
A couple of new people. I mean, David, David's project, the Chimento project, is probably the newest of substance brand that has been established there. And they have, they've planted some vineyards, they've purchased some vineyards, they've revamped some old vineyards that were maybe needing a little bit of love, and have some property that is able to sell fruit to other producers as well, which again, super, super important. Not everybody can own a vineyard. I would not advise most people to own their own vineyard. My God.
Or start their own winery. Frankly.
Why are we doing this?
Apples are fantastic.
Apples are great. Apples are great. Commodity crops, great. Just lovely.
Go alfalfa.
Go alfalfa.
Oh, just smelling this, it reminds me of being at hospice and sitting in one of those seminars. It's so fucking great.
Look, I say this 1,000 times. I don't know of an AVA with as distinct an aromatic profile as the Rocks District. Just, maybe there's some, certainly not in the United States. Like, Napa Cab, but there's variation
like oak,
where you stick your right variations of
Mega Purple Petite Syrah.
You stick your nose in a Rocks District wine, and the really good ones, and you know it.
Yeah,
right.
It's fucking rad.
And I think that if you haven't tasted it enough to know it, at least you know that it's something very different.
It's very different.
Right? And so then you're confused. Like,
yeah,
this might be Syrah, but it doesn't smell like it came from Sonoma County.
Right?
Or from Paso Robles. Where is it from?
It's a blessing and a curse because it's such a small area and it's still so new in the grand scheme of things that from a consumer standpoint, first of all, the majority of producers there are either or both very small or relatively expensive, to just put it out there. And so you're not going to find it in a grocery store. You're not going to find it in most wine shops. You're rarely going to find it on a wine list in a restaurant if you're outside of Seattle, So it's hard, and it's an education as well. It's a sub-appellation of the Walla Walla Valley, which crosses into Oregon, like all of that kind of stuff. It's complex. So we're in the position of like, we're educators. We're out there, flogging information to people, just going, hey, this is something worth knowing about. And if you're a real lover of wine and you're interested in learning, and not everybody is, and that's fine. But if you're interested in learning something and figuring out something new and what's new, and this is, the Rocks District is all of those things. Right. So, but you have to explain it.
How many words is in the form Rocks District of Milton Freewater? That's one word. Freewater. Right. Walla Walla Valley.
Yeah. Oh, it's worse. There's a "the" in front of it. It's the Rocks District.
It's an 8-word AVA name.
Yeah, it's very, very long. It's lengthy.
Yeah. It makes Moon Mountain District, Sonoma County,
for sure
seem palatable.
Sure. Yeah.
Make sure you put that district down there.
You got that's a whole.
Have you guys ever talked about doing like you and maybe some of the other people that you like the wines in respect of doing like a sampler
pack?
Yeah, something kind
love
of
that
just
idea.
to send to people that hey, check out
Yeah, look at this area.
Yeah.
Do you mean to consumers, Brian?
to consumers instead of because
Yeah.
my first idea was
Unfortunately, shipping makes that almost
makes-
impossible.
Shipping is such a pain.
because they wouldn't let you ship other people's stuff.
So
I mean, Sam and I never shipped wine together.
It never was in the same package during
COVID.
yeah.
COVID
Yeah,
for virtual
yeah.
tastings. Direct to our wonderful podcast listeners, never happened.
the alcohol laws, man, in this, I gotta say, I'm just.
Is it a little better up there?
Somebody can get a
Just
hold
'cause
of
it's-
Elon
No.
and Vivek,
No, it's
and
even
they can clean up the alcohol laws in this country.
Right.
Somebody do something for the
What,
love of
you-
God. And
Good.
Prohibition. That's the way they would
Prohibition,
clean it
still
up.
coming along.
Exactly.
But it's also like consumers don't necessarily understand. They're still flabbergasted that like, what do you mean I have to be home to sign for my wine? Just have them just leave it with my neighbor if I'm not home, or leave it. And it's like, well, I can't ask that UPS or FedEx does that for you. You know, like they don't know all those ins and outs. So, and then they get mad at me when I'm like, well, you really have to be home. And we 3 attempts and then it gets sent back to us. And then I have to charge you for the restocking fee that we're charged from the warehouse, and then another fee to re-ship it to you. And it's just such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I would love to just be like free shipping all around, but it's, we're charged.
You're not allowed to
so
say
much.
that word.
You can't say it.
No. No.
It's ridiculous. So
Complimentary.
Shipping isn't included with all orders.
Oh, included.
There you go.
Okay, gotcha.
1 cent shipping.
yeah, it has to be something. So
What
we're-
And then the shipping companies are not held responsible at all. I mean,
we had, I love these stories. Okay, we had
This is a great Christmas episode for all the winemakers and small producers out there.
This
We'll
is
just
a cathartic
let's just
holiday
fucking
shipping
rant on it.
deal.
Go. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. But we had a third-party shipper who shall remain nameless, but who is brown, deals with most of our shipping, if not all of our shipping, and broke like on arrival at somebody's house, like broke all the bottles, and just threw it
Oh,
out.
there's a fragile sticker on the
Just
side.
threw
That's
it.
the target
Yeah.
to kick.
and replace and this order was over $1,000, and I think they said that they would replace like, I don't know, maybe $200 at
Cover
best.
the cost of your glass.
Yeah, no, it was ridiculous.
And
We're
the
like,
box.
what
The wine's on
with
you.
you? Like it's very clearly wine. It's wine. Like things are fragile. just be careful with it and be respectful of the fact that like we as winemakers, right? We have one chance a year to make a product, to make a hopeful profit, to make one chance a year. For like the rest of our lives, like I'll be lucky if I get to make 40 vintages of a wine. So it's, and then for them to just be like, oh, I'm so sorry, it broke. And I understand things happen and all of that, but it's just.
but what I
Sorry,
want,
I'll get off my soapbox
I had
now.
the same situation, and I'm still in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like all it said was package destroyed, and I said great. I said send me back the unbroken ones.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to take us a couple weeks to do an investigation.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I want you to send me back all the corks, like
Yeah.
the glass and the corks,
Show me. Yeah.
And I'm still waiting, and my customer's thrilled because he got his wine and whatnot, but, and they're just like,
Yeah.
loop.
It's just cyclical. And also as a little guy too,
Yeah.
I may not have more wine
Right.
to just send you.
Right.
I or it's coming from like our personal library, and I'm happy to do that. I mean, if a customer is paying for this wine, I will get you that wine,
Right.
however I have to do it. But it's still like, really, guys? I just feel like there's such a lack of care on the, dare I say,
I know.
shipper side
Too
of
bad
things.
someone
And
can't
it's
make money.
It's not specific to
It's not specific.
any color of their logo.
No,
of any of these
It's-
companies.
It's red, white, and blue.
Purple, orange,
and like
brown,
we can't
red,
legally ship
green.
alcohol through the U.S. Postal Service. Thank you, Prohibition.
So
Am I wrong? Can
They keep talking
is
about it.
changing?
this
keep
is
talking
it's
about it.
possible that next year U.S. Postal Service might be able to ship wine, but Imagine the problems you're talking about right now.
Oh,
Take it
my
to
God. No,
another
that's-
level.
yeah, that's-
Have you ever been back behind the counter in a post
terrifying.
office, like to get a passport photo?
Yeah.
It looks like you're in like 1951
Yeah.
back there.
Could you imagine
Very
two of those little
antiquated.
carts crash into each other with
Oh God.
your last 3 bottles of Viognier at the
Right,
front
just
edge.
gone immediately.
But has no one ever started a shipping service that was focused on
Singular
wine?
Wine? That's a great question. I hope so.
Because they would have to
mean-
partner with.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. You'd have to partner with one of the other ones. So then, of course, then it would make it more expensive. But you could, yeah.
Well, there was that one company, the GSR or whatever, that
GSO.
GSO, and you didn't even have to put it into shipping boxes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
We still do that. We still do that with GSO to in-state retail.
To in-state retail. And
If they
Case boxes?
you just send up, we just
and then they go from there?
and
Huh?
and one out of every 20 there's something happens.
But
Yeah.
but also that what I had heard was don't use them because they'll never, like, if they can't find it simply, they just won't deliver it. Like, because
I mean, yeah, we use it for
just
a
retail,
store, that's like got a sign and people there. No, we have used them for some, residential deliveries, and they show up on a Saturday and ring the doorbell, and if you don't answer in 17 seconds, they're on to the next destination.
Yeah.
I mean, don't take me wrong.
It's a tough business. It's a tough.
It's
It's a tough
one,
game.
guys.
It's a,
It's a tough one.
next time, try and make eye contact with your Amazon driver. Those people are like, it's all at this time of year, they're all dying on the inside.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be. I mean, I'm being hard on those brown trucks right now, but I've actually had very, very good luck for a long, long time with shipping. And,
Hey.
but all I want him to
Our
do is
UPS
be
driver,
Yeah.
Rob Sullivan, is 7 years in a row Employee of the Year.
Glorious.
It's like,
Glorious.
Yeah.
It is just a bummer because there's so many people that are so good at their job and actually care in those industries, and it sucks. Like, yeah, we're shitting on them a little bit, but it's like you have one bad experience and it just sours the taste in your mouth for that organization, like, forever. And it's awful.
We need to plant the seed with Kia over at Neo Tempo. He seems to be really focused on.
well, he's like, I mean,
shipping.
his tracker card.
Totally.
But let's go bigger, Kia.
Right. Let's start your own company
Right.
where everything's tracked.
I'd be into that.
Where it's basically
Sounds
like you
marvelous.
can 24 hours a day pull up on your phone. You, can see
exactly
where it
where
is.
things are.
And
Well,
you know
did-
what temperature it is, and you know if it's jiggled
So
or
no,
wiggled.
this is, I mean, he has this prototype. I don't know if it. I mean, maybe it's in production.
And it just goes with the
It's
package.
it's the size of a very thin cell phone.
Yeah.
And he puts it into every package.
It's got
Yeah.
3
and
lights.
it tracks like location and temperature, and like also maybe
Jiggly.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's a
Vibration,
there's
whatever.
There's
yeah.
a more
Jostling
scientific word
effect.
for
Yeah.
all of them. Clearly, none of us are in this industry.
The jiggleness.
the jiggle
Jiggleness-
test.
The jiggleness factor.
But the key is then like
Yeah.
your customer sends it back to you.
So when you get it, if any of the lights are red, it means something went wrong.
been
If
out
they're
of the
all green,
parameters of
then you know
safety.
it traveled safely. And then at that point, all that information is sent back to his database. So if he needs to file an insurance claim, it's all on his computer. So the idea is to get them small enough to where not only could they be on every box, but I think end game dream is to make it so they're basically recyclable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it can go on a box that gets broken down and thrown into.
And then it doesn't
but
have
it's
to be sent back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did any of you read the article about Dan O'Brien from Gale?
Yes.
The article about this multi-million-dollar seller that they bought, and
Oh, he was one of the guys. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
he's one of those guys, and they had to track everything for insurance reasons, movements and temperatures and humidities and everything.
Did it move from one cellular to
Well,
another?
it moved
To
from
many, I would assume. to benchmark.
it moved from wherever it started, which I don't remember, to China.
Oh,
Yeah, it's on the
okay.
way to Hong Kong.
On the whole way to Hong Kong, because that's where it was auctioned off at.
And like in the middle of COVID, and it was a crazy.
It was a big,
It's in Forbes.
you know,
It's a great article.
Oh,
it
I'll
could be,
read
it could
that
be
up.
a movie.
It totally.
It could be, you add a little like, international.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Sure.
Extra drama.
It needs a little like international crime ring kind of vibe to it, and it could be it's the premise for a movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
There is a new I don't know if it's on Netflix thing about people that were stealing syrup in Canada, and they were just taking
Maple syrup?
a little bit at a time. And so there's a new series that's coming out that's basically it's
like the Johnny
based
Cash song.
on
From the
that.
trees?
One
Like
piece
They were
at a
taking
time.
it from like the warehouse.
Oh, from the.
Yeah.
It's a 45, 55, 65.
75.
But even-
Automobile.
I think at Pappy someone was doing that for a while. They were stealing
yeah.
single bottles for a long time and selling them online. But syrup seems like, man, that's a fucking tough go right there. Hey, bro.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Once-
look
Need
how much.
some
Once
syrup.
syrup.
Black market.
Open up the
maple
trench
syrup.
coat. I got
Look how
dark. I got
expensive it
medium. I
is.
got light.
I
Yeah,
got
oh, shit.
Canadian. I got Vermont.
I know how expensive. I have a 5-year-old. I know how expensive syrup is.
Syrup is expensive. Yeah, good syrup.
Yeah,
Good
the
syrup.
real stuff.
Very
Right,
expensive.
you wanted to have organic real syrup, and you're like,
$20.
but it'd be nice if you didn't put $5 at a time on your plate.
Exactly.
That's the thing of like having
Smear it around on the
Right?
table.
having a toddler really makes you appreciate the seasonality of berries and the cost of
Right.
berries.
Oh my god.
Oh,
raspberries in the wintertime. It
Raspberries
just
in
like
the wintertime are just
crushes your
shit.
soul. You're like,
It's
I'm a
awful.
regenerative farmer. I'm trying to dry farm my Cinso in the middle of a high desert, but I'm buying $9 clamshell
raspberries.
raspberries from Argentina
from
3 days a
Chile.
week.
Yeah, or,
3 times a week.
oh god.
So, Brooke, that's another thing that's happened since you were here visiting.
Oh, yeah.
You have a prodigal child in the
I have a
house
tiny
now.
human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that
tiny
going?
humans. Tiny humans are. Oh my god. I don't even know how to describe this to you.
How old?
She's a year and a half. She's just now 19 months. So it is insane. It is like the best and the most complicated my life has ever been. And I love her. She is the best little version of myself.
And the worst.
And the worst all at the same time. She looks at me dead in the eye. She'll be holding something in her hand. I'll be like, Remy, don't drop that. Remy, do not drop that. She'll look me dead in the eye and just go, boop.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. No, I respect your choices, but
Cause
Damn
and
it.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're figuring it out.
and just real quick, like shout out to my husband. He's been like solo parenting for the last 3 days, and I love that man. that is tough to do
Isn't
right
it
now.
amazing,
so.
like when you get that time away, like
Oh,
how
it's a
your heart,
reset. It's
your
just a
heart
complete
is
reset.
broken because you're not
Yeah.
there and you feel like you're missing out on everything.
Oh, yeah.
But you go, oh, thank God I
Isn't
slept
this
well
great?
last night.
Yeah, no, I'm like,
Nobody touched me for 24 hours.
And it
the
was
best 24
marvelous.
hours of the last.
it is so crazy because it's like, yeah, like when I lay down, like in these last couple of days, I'm like scrolling through my phone looking at pictures of her, but I'm also like, I'm in a bed by myself,
Yeah.
alone,
I'm gonna sleep through the night.
and I get to
At least,
sleep.
at least not on my own accord.
Yeah, no, it's motherhood is weird, man. Like for a point, you're kind of like grieving for the you used to be, because you quickly realize you can no longer do what you want to do when you want to do it. There's none of that anymore. I would love to have a hot cup of coffee someday. That sounds amazing. But like I make it, and then
You just got to get up early.
don't get to do it. Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
You just have to
It's
alter
the
your
3
life.
a.m. wake ups.
Right, you
To
have to
like
al-
have 5 minutes to yourself is real.
Alter your life
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah. No, it's but it's phenomenal. I love being a mom, and it's also, you know, we're in a very fortunate situation where my job of owning my own business and being, you know, self-employed is like allows me to be present with her, which is, I have no idea how people do it when they have
Real jobs.
real jobs. Yeah.
I feel the same way all the time.
No idea. No clue of either way. Even now for me, like you're sacrificing, I'm for sure sacrificing like the sales ability for this wine, because I'm like, well, I'm home with my daughter and she needs constant attention. Like I should be, you know, on the phone and, you know, shooting out emails to people of like, hey, you want to buy some wine? But I have a toddler that's like on my leg every 5 minutes of the day. So it's
Your dad can't do that?
wouldn't that be nice?
Shout out Steve Robertson.
Yeah. he's running quite a few things at the moment, so he's a little busy. There's this really cool thing. So Steve Robertson is the president of the Rocks District Wine Growers Association. Ding ding. And we are in process of putting together a barrel auction event for this summer, which is going to be raising money for mental health services for the Milton Freewater School District, because there is currently none. So we, as an organization, saw a need in our community and are putting together what will be a really, really fun event to raise some funds for that particular cause and our organization as well. So it's going to be, we're going to have like a tractor parade downtown Milton Freewater. We're going to shut down downtown. There'll be a Rocks District wine grower tasting on the heels of that. That's going to have a tamale competition.
Nice.
I am so excited. Yeah.
These wines and tamales.
Oh my God.
And some like a little mole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking about that mole tamale that they do this season
At El Molino.
Good.
Totally. Wouldn't that be?
So good.
Now I'm wondering
Right?
if it's available right now.
Yeah. But that's like an epic combination.
Well,
Yeah.
did you say a barrel?
Yeah, so there'll be then the following day there'll be like a little golf morning for people that like golfing, where you can like golf with a winemaker kind of thing, and there'll be bets at every hole, and then in the afternoon there will be
At every
oh
hole.
yeah
First in, first on.
there you go.
Closest to the hole.
Close to the hole.
Farthest from the hole. That's the one I go.
I
You
love
gotta
that one. That's
Take
always
shots
good.
of Syrah.
Oh, there'll be some fun stuff for sure. It'll be great.
What's the date on this?
So this is going to be July 25th, 26th.
Okay.
And then to cap it all off, we will have a barrel auction where there will be individual wineries having like their own wines plus collaboration wines. So like, how breweries do collabs all the time. We were like, well, why couldn't wineries do that? So it's like, you have a Grenache, you have a Mourvèdre, I have a Syrah. Oh my God, let's put this together in varying amounts and have like truly one-off wines that you can only get
That's super
if
cool.
you bid on it at the auction.
Yeah.
And then all of that funding goes to our community and mental health services for kids. Like it's
Super cool.
It's a good feel all around, right?
We did that here for the Sonoma Valley Vendors and Growers.
Yeah.
And what we did, we said 5 gallons each,
I
and
like
no
that.
blending, right?
Yeah.
So it takes the ego out of it.
Yes.
And then the people are like, well, it kind of tastes like it's more Merlot than Cabernet, and they're like, yeah, it is.
It is.
That's what they picked.
That's what
What do
it
you think?
is.
It's very drinkable,
Right?
Oh, well, there you go. That's all we really wanted, right?
Exactly. Just something that's good,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's non-vintage. It doesn't matter if it's, heaps of things coming in
It's
from
one
all sides.
of a kind.
It's good and it's one of a kind.
Right.
Exactly.
There's 25 cases of it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be called the Basalt Bash
That's awesome.
and Barrel Auction.
The basalt.
The Basalt Bash. Triple B, man.
Wow, you got a marketing team.
You're looking at it.
Came up with that name. Basalt Bash.
There's a very, very few of us with the Rocks District. Shout out to Kelly Austin with Grow Grain up north. She came up with that one. So it's just a couple of us kind of coming together to create all of this stuff, but with big impacts for our region. So we're excited about that.
What? How much of your wine stays like within your region, out of Delmas, and how much gets sent around the country? Or
Quite frankly, the majority of it is in the greater Northwest. So Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. We have a little bit of it down here. Shout out to K&L Wine Merchants that buys quite a bit of our Syrah. Love you guys. So there's a couple of places down here, but it's hard, as we were speaking before. Again, this is such a unique small thing, and people don't know what it is or understand it.
Well,
and it's a box out price point, quite frankly. So
who was your rep in this area?
Urban.
It's Urban. Okay.
Yeah, Urban has our 2019 Syrah currently, they would very much like the 21s, but
so get rid of that 19.
yeah, exactly. So we're we're rolling right along. But we have we can ship to like 30 something states at the moment, and so we have club members that are all over the place. We ship a lot to Texas, we ship a lot to Florida, we ship a lot to New York.
And last time you were here, you could come and get a tour of the vineyard.
Yeah.
Is that still happening?
We still have that.
If you like babies.
Yeah, exactly. Steve is kind of handling that. So if you want to spend, literally a 3-hour tour with Steve-O in the vineyard, please come out.
He might even tell you about the wine.
He might tell you about it. Yeah, exactly. But come see some head train vines in the Rocks District. And then we just as of next month, so in January, we're finally going to be able to taste people on the wines. So
that was what I was looking for.
Exactly. So there's a really cool little operation in downtown Walla Walla. So you don't even have to drive out to Milton Freewater, which is only 20 minutes, but still.
Although I recommend it if you haven't.
No, for sure.
And take different roads.
Yeah, take different roads.
You take a different road every single time
you go there. Yeah.
That was the best part.
The adventure.
You might get lost for a while.
The adventure of going to
a
the Rocks
little old lady might pull a gun on you.
Well, welcome to Eastern Oregon. Yeah.
Wait, did she actually pull a gun, or did you just assume she had a gun?
She was a gruff.
I didn't wait around to find out.
Yeah. But turned out to be very nice at the end.
Wonderful.
Yeah. But yeah, so downtown Walla Walla, there's this really cool operation called the Drayman House, and we happen to be members of this little facility, and so. In the new year, via our website, delmaswines.com, you will be able to book an actual tasting where you get to sit down with me and we'll go through a handful of wines and tell you who we are, and you'll actually get to taste it and purchase it as well, very importantly. So,
and where this is in what downtown Walla Walla?
Downtown Walla Walla at the Drayman House.
Where's the Drayman House?
It's right behind the Walla Walla Tattoo Parlor. So a great spot for me. And
I was more interested in the record shop. I didn't get the tattoo parlor.
It's not quite hot poop. Okay. Yeah, but it's in the general downtown vicinity. So that'll be happening. And then if I can make this happen, there's a very small building, downtown Milton Freewater, that I am itching to purchase and renovate and have as our actual tasting room.
750.
Like about this.
Yeah.
Like the entryway and table area of Winery 16600. So
you know what, Brooke?
Milton Freewater is
it's only
so primed.
gonna
it's so primed.
I mean, we're losing people here because they're moving up.
Oh, for sure.
North.
For sure.
So you're only gonna get.
I know.
And you're going to kick yourself 10 years from now. I should have done it.
I should have done that. Oh, yeah. I'm kicking myself already, Brian. That 5 years ago, I should have done that.
Tech dude moves up there.
That'll be the thing. Yeah. It's
like this Cybertruck in downtown Milton Freewater. I hope somebody steals the rims.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, the area is it's like Calistoga was in the 70s. You can't, when you know that, you can't not invest in that
It's
area.
got all the things.
Wide sidewalks.
Totally.
Cutesy pie, little downtown shops. It's right, and it's right on Main Street.
And the architecture is primed for the whole thing.
It just needs a little fix up, a little influx of cash, and then boom, there you are. Yeah. So that's
a couple good restaurants, and the place will be on fire.
There's some awesome dive bars down there. There's some. It's primed. It's primed. So we're fingers crossed that I can make that happen. And then worst case scenario at some point when we have millions of dollars, coming into the wine industry as not a trust fund baby or as someone without generational wealth. Holy fuck. I mean, yeah, trying to make this happen on a shoestring is, we're family. I'm just being honest with you guys. Yeah, it's all patience and time and how can we make this work? And we're doing it. But that would be phenomenal. And then if we are able to build something some shacky structure out at the vineyard site. Worst case scenario, downtown building becomes an office for me and an event space, and maybe even in future, like we could lease that space out to up and coming wineries that don't have a tasting space and would love to be able to start out and build their brand. And like I would have loved that as a new brand coming in if someone had offered a space to me. So again, building community and making it real, man. That's
people want funky too. Like I hear the best stories I hear about from people are like, oh, I remember when we went to Lenny Coloto when it was and it was like a surfboard on 2 sawhorses. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're like, and that was fucking epic, and the wines were amazing, and and so it doesn't, it doesn't have to be fancy. It's just some place for people to get together, and it shows your personality. And
some of the best experiences that we've had with people is literally having a car bar at the vineyard, of just like opening the trunk and being like, here you go. So, bringing that, having a brand that only lives online just doesn't work, especially when it's a physical textural, you need to taste it. You need to taste it to understand. You need to taste it to warrant the price point. So it's all of those things kind of coming together.
Were you the only one in your area to get on the list, Jeb's list of top 100?
No, so Cayuse, to no one's surprise, is also on there. Ryan Van is on there.
Was it Bionic Frog or Horsepower? What was it?
It was Cayuse.
It was Cayuse. Okay, one of them. Okay, and then anyone else from that area?
Ryan Van was there as well.
Never had that one.
Yeah, so those are the only 2 from the Rocks district, though. So it was us in the top 10. Cayuse, I think, was, I want to say, number 24, so up there. And then Ryan Van, I believe, was in the maybe 40s or 50s. So,
but I mean, that's
in the conversation. Rocks district wines 3.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
out of
great.
100 for
that's pretty good.
Because you're right next to Beaucastel and
oh my god. Okay, so the wine that was our benchmark that we emulated our co-ferment on was Guy Gall's La Moline. Their $430 bottle that received a 100-point score was number 15.
Yeah.
Well, that means you should raise your price.
Holy shit.
Well,
yeah. Right? I mean,
almost become, that's one way to go, right? Almost become the ultra premium brand where it's like, it's so expensive that only ultra rich people want to buy it.
Where it goes.
And then one person just buys it all.
Wouldn't that be lovely? Yeah.
Could you go find that person, please?
Can
Brian?
we find who this human being is? Yeah.
Right.
I know. Well, but our price point is, it's $95 for the Syrah. This bottle that we're having right now, the BDR,
which is delicious.
Thank you very much. This is $125, and that's like at the top of our $750 range, right? We have Magnums that are more.
The Peddler.
The
Peddler. Yeah. But yeah, this wine, so this is a brand new wine for us. So I wanted to bring it down for you guys. So this is the BDR. Stands for Brooke Delmas Robertson.
That's a stretch.
I know. You'd never know. But SJR Vineyard is Stuart John Robertson. That's my brother. And then BDR is me. So I, after 15 years, got my name on something.
All I had to do was take everything over.
Just take it over. Yeah. Just become the winemaker and
that is we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
From the episode 219 to now. I don't think you had
no, I wasn't.
You
Yeah.
weren't necessarily like the
No, I was just
winemaker.
the viticulturist at that point.
Right.
So my dad, thank you, Steve, gave me the moniker of winemaker as of 2023. Actually, in April of 2023, and my daughter was born in May. So
I mean, Dad.
Great timing. Yeah. So 23 was a bonkers year for me, but 23 was the first vintage that I made, and so now I'm alone. We had, prior to this, we had just a phenomenal consultant winemaker, Bill Nervain, shout out of Rasa Vineyards. He's master of wine, incredible. We're very, very fortunate to have had his tutelage
They talk too much, though. Those masters of wine.
They know a lot. They know a lot. Yeah.
Just shut up and make the wine.
Just make the wine. Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Morgan.
And if you write their name and don't put MW on the end, someone will let you know.
Catastrophe.
Sorry, Professor.
Yeah. So it has gotten more streamlined, I'll tell you. So 23 and 24 are my first ones.
When you
I've
know the
changed
vineyards
things
and
a
you
little
know
bit.
the wines and you know what's...
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
this
the vineyard.
makes sense.
The vineyard. I mean, I could do that in my sleep. I have a lot of education and a lot of experience and a lot of training behind that. So thank God. But the wine thing, it's harder to break into. So this wine is the BDR. This is kind of the epitome of what I've always envisioned SJR Vineyard being capable of doing. And that is essentially a blend of every variety we have on property. This is our Beaucastel Clos de Pop methodology, right? Of we're going to take it all and we're going to put it all together, and it will truly represent this place in a given vintage. So from year to year, those percentages will change. This is 57% Syrah, 40% Grenache with a little Cinsault, and Viognier in this as well.
Only 1%, Brian.
Only one.
Don't worry.
I didn't take a lot.
She's an eyedropper.
Just ding, beep, 2,
One drop.
3,
Walk away,
4.
walk away.
Yeah.
Brian.
There you go. So this is kind of the culmination of what we've been growing and working towards for some time. So the future vintages of this, as I mentioned, the percentages will change. Some years it'll be higher Grenache, some years it'll be higher Syrah. Someday, my God, wouldn't it be cool if it was mostly Cinsault? We can only hope. So
this is this co-fermented or is this blended later?
this is blended later. Yeah. So the field blend, that was all co-fermented together intentionally. And then this one was kind of taking, what we felt to be the best of the best, barrel selection and all of that, and then blended. So first real opportunity to blend for us, which is pretty cool.
And blended
Being
and
an
put
estate.
blended and bottled, or blended and then put back into barrels.
Blended, put back into barrels, and then bottled 4 or 5 months later.
Yeah.
So we it saw some barrel time as a completed wine.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Which is exciting.
Okay, and people just I forget, because I remember one time seeing some of your wines, and do you have to join the wine club to get the wines? Do you have to be some sort of
Not
member?
anymore. No,
Because wasn't that a thing? And
it was a
I was
thing.
telling people, I'm like, join the fucking club, get
Thank
some of
you,
the
Brian.
Syrah and some of the Viognier.
I love the promotion. Thank you. So we have wine clubs. If you for sure want some of the more limited quantities of things like the Grenache or like the Viognier, absolutely join a club, because then I can ensure that this is what you're going to get. But right now we've done away. We used to have a club and an allocation, which was just very, very complicated.
Right.
And so we decided to do away with that. And then anything that doesn't go to the clubs, we have listed live on our website
Cool.
right now.
And drop that website again.
DelmasWines.com, ladies and gentlemen.
Does the Viognier ever make it to the end?
It never makes it.
Okay, I'm like, fuck
Sorry.
that.
Sorry, Brian.
So you got to join the club to
You
get
have
the
to join
Viognier.
the for sure. You have to join the club to get the Viognier.
yeah.
Oh, fun fact! Just dropped today, team. Decanter. We are number 48 on their top 50 list
Wow.
for the Viognier, the 21.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I see the publications get the
Yeah. 3 bottles went to fucking England
Yeah.
that you didn't get, Brian.
There
So
you
that could happen.
No, Clive put us on as, I think it was the wine of the Columbia Valley for him, which is just.
Will you talk about the
Blows my
Viognier?
mind.
Just
I
for
will
a while.
I
Just talk
will-
about
I will,
it.
Just for the rest of the podcast. Let's just dream.
Talk slow
dream
and
about
soft
the
about it.
Viognier.
turn down the light.
In a very
Yeah, totally.
seductive
Will
voice.
you put a candle?
Look, I think I have the perfect record. We can find this.
Yeah. Get some tunes.
Just tell us how come it's so good.
So our thank you, Brian. our Viognier is really fun. We only have 1 acre planted currently. As I mentioned, more is coming, but by more I mean like like a quarter of an acre. Like, it's not a lot.
We took the driveway.
Exactly. Yeah. We just took that out and more Viognier going. But we make it in a I feel like I always butcher the Kundro. Is it Kundrio? Kondru?
So,
Right? Kondru.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have an MW, but we do have a song.
See, there you go. So we make it in a
Ish.
It's on the ish.
Yeah, you're right.
That
Yeah,
one
Right.
hard to
Love it.
pronounce.
Yeah.
the best
Hard to pronounce.
term that
Viognier only.
the USA has come up with in decades. Ish.
But yeah, so we make it in a Kondru style where it's 100% Viognier. It sees skin contact time, so depending on the vintage, 8 to 12 hours. Logistically, it can be difficult to go more than that, and also we're just looking for that little hint of bitterness from the skins. And then we press it off, and it ferments in barrel. It gets stirred twice a week for its life. So kicking the lees up into suspension for that creamy mouthfeel.
For its life, for like 6-8
For
months.
the life. No, 14.
14 months.
14 months.
And is it destemmed or foot stomped?
It is destemmed.
So destemmed.
It is totally
And then-
destemmed. Yeah, and so we pick it a little riper as well. So there's, as y'all know, Viognier, there's a fine line between flabby and flavorful. So we pick it a little bit later. Mostly the indicator is when it starts to taste like juniper. Which is fascinating. I don't know why that happens. I don't know how that happens. But at SJR Vineyard, it gets orange and freckled skins. And then it starts to have this juniper flavor. Does that happen down here at all? Like, what's the
Juice sample? Juice samples or
berry
berries?
sample? Yeah.
No, I look for peach
Ooh, peach. Yeah.
and peach O's.
peach
Peach rings, like gas station peach rings.
Those are the best.
Yeah. But that's it. And it happens for our Viognier at Steel Plow Vineyard.
Yeah.
Around that same time when the skins are starting. If it's too green and pretty, you don't
It
stay
just
the
doesn't
fuck
do it.
out.
Yeah, it doesn't do it.
You have to let it get a little ugly.
And Viognier to grow, right, is like the most hideous, dramatic variety of just like, it's going to look like it's dying and it's crashing on you. And then it's like you do a pressure bomb and it's like 10. And you're like, God damn it. Like, just look better. But we cane prune it. So we do a double Guillot cane prune on our Viognier, which has increased the tonnage very slightly.
Nice. Yep.
So future vintages, there's a little bit more. But yeah, and it lives in puncheon for 14 months, and then we bottle it, and away we go. But yeah, there's
Puncheon for 14 months.
yeah. Yeah, I love a puncheon. I love large format. For the BDR this year, we were working with Ludovic over at Tremo, and man, he made us some just insane demi-weed 600 liter. Just so good.
Wait, you got your own barrel guy up there?
Yeah, so we were really fortunate to meet him early on and tasted him on our wines, and he goes, I'm having some thoughts here of like what we could do, and we're finally to a production level, taking most of the fruit back. Actually, now we're taking all of the fruit back for ourselves. So we stopped selling our fruit to other producers. It's all coming in-house now. We're still under 1,000 cases, but we have the volume to be able to go into these like bigger format vessels. And thank God, I love it. It still has the right amount of oak impact that you want without overpowering everything. And as a little guy, it's so hard to balance like, okay, I need more vessels to ferment and to age my wine. But if they're all new, so it's like we've finally gotten to the point where we have neutral vessels that we can actually lessen that oak impact. It's tough when you start with 50 cases of wine. That's 2 barrels, man. One of them is going to be new, So it's like, okay. But now we're fortunate to have these larger format barrels. And a lot of what we do is in puncheon now, which is great. Do you guys how do you feel about large format
I love them.
vessels. Yeah.
Yeah. As many as, he's got to start collecting them.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
or find someone who sells them in the secondary market that you trust.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Because the maintenance on them is just a little bit extra.
we'll just keep them full.
Just keep them full. Just never let them dry out. Yeah, exactly.
And malolactic on the Viognier is...
So we started making the Viognier in 2018. So the earlier ones are all full mallow. This year, with the 24, I'm experimenting.
Okay.
So I did one punch-in, full mallow, and the other one, no mallow.
Ooh. And then you're
So-
going to see, kind of play around and see what works.
Blend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the ultimate, it'll be half.
Yeah.
They're all SO2 now, of course. But it's
Are
going
they
to maintain.
dramatically different?
They're radically different. You still get that peachy, tropical, floral note of Viognier that we all know and love in both of them. But one of them is just like uber intense, knock your socks off. And the other one maintains its acid.
Yeah.
So being able to have a brighter, more uplift.
There's levels.
There's
Now
levels.
there's levels.
There's levels
Yeah.
with still being able to maintain that creaminess and that, is going to be really cool. I'm really excited. So now that, I have the winemaker hat on, I get to play.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Don't fuck with my Viognier.
I'm not
And
going to
there's
mess
two
it up.
punches.
Don't worry.
So there's all of 100 cases.
I'll tell you what, Ryan, if it's horrible, I will bottle the full mallow alone for you. So that,
Sell off.
there you go. Yeah, we'll just.
Or blend it into some Syrah. How do you were talking about co-fermentation
Yeah.
with Syrah. You talking about Viognier and you guys, it ripens around the same time, or
It does. So we're really fortunate that way. Where we're located, the Viognier and the Syrah are like we pick the varietal Viognier like a day before we pick it for the co-ferment. So unlike here, or I remember last time we were talking about, adding back the Viognier skin.
We freeze them.
Exactly. Yeah, which is such a cool idea and then like a way to handle that, right? For us, we were super fortunate is like they just kind of ripen at the same time. Or like I know like the guys down in Paso, they're like, no, there's no freaking way. Like it's just not.
And I imagine your Syrah is ripening at a lower sugar. So having some of that Viognier sugar is probably going to help your fermentation in some cases.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So whereas like the Viognier can be 25, 26 sometimes by the time we're picking it with the co-ferment, that's fantastic. If the Syrah is,
24, 23.
Yeah, exactly. So, and because we co-ferment at a little bit higher rate, so we're closer to like 8% from year. It's like 6 to 8% is usually where that co-fermentation percentage lands. So
Co-roti, man.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I just want to drink more wine now.
I know. This was a great pre-Christmas gift. This was your Christmas gift this year, Brian. Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you. I know I got
Love
my
you
Viognier.
guys. Love you
I know.
guys.
The last time
Had
I
to
saw
come
Brooke,
with
she
the
just sort of
Viognier.
like appeared in our kitchen in Walla with a bottle of Viognier
11
for me.
o'clock at
I was
night
like,
or something.
Yeah, well, it was
like
late.
angels
Well, I
were
was texting
singing.
you like, don't leave, I'm on my way. Please don't leave. Yeah, no, that was fun. That was heaps of fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going back. I actually, as long as someone else is paying for it, I hope they do it in Walla again. But if we gotta, that's the thing about Paso is that for us we just drive down.
Yeah,
So it's a little more labor intensive, but we had a lot of fun.
but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, I hope, Vicky, if you're listening, please consider.
Yeah, shout out to Saffron
They know they
Restaurant.
listen to
We
this.
loved there, and shout out to Stacy at Blood of Gods. We had,
Stacey Buchanan.
yeah, he was a good guy. We had fun hanging out with him too.
He's great.
No, and we were there for like 4 days. Wasn't enough, right? There was still like things you wanted to do and places you wanted to eat.
Oh, and the Thief wine shop too.
Oh, the
We
Thief,
really had
No,
fun there.
I'm glad that I was only at the Thief for 3 or 4 times. 'Cause
Well,
that was,
Luckily,
Yeah, the
Christoph
American-
walked up on
Oh,
Sam and
man.
I and decided to put everything on his credit
Oh,
card.
that's
So that
lovely.
was very
that
nice.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like his spot. Like he walks in there, like when it's rosés. I was in there, I don't know, earlier in the year, and he was like, Brooke, it's rosé season. And he's like, just buying cases of rosé. And I was like, all right, man, what are you buying? Let me see if I can get some of that, because it's going to be good.
Seriously. Let me get a bottle before you buy it out.
Yeah, exactly. No, The Thief is a great wine shop. They have our stuff there. They have back vintages of our stuff there, which is
Baller shit by the glass.
They're good buddies.
The vintage wine by the glass is what it's just like.
It's really cool. Yeah. And Kyle always, he's got like DRC in the bag. He's just if you ask the right questions, he'll pull some fun stuff for you. So
All right. Anything you want to? I mean, you got shit going on. Anyone you want to say hi to?
You do have something I saw like happening in January.
I have there's a
tasting or like some event in Seattle.
For people in Walla, there's Delmas is going to be doing a dinner at the Marcus Whitman, where we're going to pull some back vintages, some stuff, some magnums. It's going to be a really, really fun dinner. If you go to marcuswhitman.com, you can buy tickets. They are available now. January 5th is the date for that. Our club releases are coming up too, team. So
wait, what? Your club releases are just coming up?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
So there's time for you to join, Brian.
So you do some things okay, so you're still on doing some things 4 times?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I'm
just trying to imagine us doing that here.
Oh my God.
No.
It's the thing. But
we'd lose Jasmine.
Yeah.
She'd burn her office out and leave in a...
Yeah.
But I think I saw that we have a winery here called Three Fat Guys.
Oh, cool.
I think they do a club where like once a month you get like 1 or 2 bottles.
Once
and I'm like,
month?
holy shit, talk about administrative hell.
Summer shipping terrifies me. Right.
Okay, so I've made the move to I am not shipping in the summer. I'm just not going to.
We just don't do it.
We'll ship in March. We'll ship in May. We'll ship in October, and we'll ship in December. That's being the person that not only grows the wine, makes the wine,
you care,
sends the wine, administers the wine club. Like it's just so. It's
puts the labels on, puts the
labels on. Yeah, like it's many hats. It's a lot. So. We have 4 times a year where we'll ship, but other than that, I'm not freaking doing it. I'm sorry.
Can't ship anyway.
You can't ship.
Everywhere you're trying to ship in between California and Florida is too hot. Anytime in between April and November.
No, and even if you do like overnight shipping or add an ice pack, first of all, that's crazy expensive to your consumer. And then, it's the ice pack's going to wear out. And
it weighs a lot, and your carbon footprint's going up. And
exactly. So it's just not.
Throw it on Taylor Swift's plane. What the fuck?
Yeah.
to go to a Chiefs game.
Made it Eras Tour.
Through the Eras Tour.
Totally. It's going to Kansas City? Hold on. Taylor will take
there
it.
There you go.
How can we make our wine more expensive?
Right. Exactly.
Okay, cool. So I mean, we encourage obviously people going up and seeing everything.
Yes, please come visit.
Yeah,
please come up.
Yeah, and plan on going for 3-4 days, like when you go up to that region, right?
Great. There's so much to see and do, and there's a lot of just unbelievable producers up there that definitely should be checked out.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, if you're Brian and I, you're going to spend at least a day lost on different roads between Milton Freewater and downtown Walla Walla.
The 15 minutes between Milton Freewater and Walla Walla.
Well, you can find a lot of ways to do it, and maybe they weren't the most efficient.
Back roads, yeah.
Well, yeah, and don't
I
fly
wanted to
into,
get the rental car dirty before I brought it back to.
I actually feel as if maybe Walla Walla was ready for you guys to leave, and maybe you overstayed your welcome.
Well, just like anywhere.
Welcome back.
You didn't want to go, but they were like,
"Please,
no, it's time for you to go.
Come back soonish."
Goes back to the ish.
Well, it was such a pleasure for me to see you guys as always.
Thanks,
thank you.
Thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Wines are great as always.
Lots of things.
Yeah, all the things. I'm not going to make the list, but
if anyone loves Syrah, Grenache, or Viognier, and I assume that's pretty much most people that listen to this podcast.
I would after this,
highly recommend going on your website and getting some shit sent to your house.
Thank you. Thank you.
While she's shipping this month.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've got a little bit of time left.
Anything we need to
shout out? Michael Harrell sent 2 packages of nonpareils from Pennsylvania.
And they
one for the winery, one for 16s, and then one for the podcast. So he said in the card specifically, make sure Bart gets some. Sorry, John, because maybe there'll be some here by the time you get back tomorrow.
What are those called?
They are good.
What?
I call that a nonpareil.
Yeah.
Non-pry.
Non-pry. Oh.
Non-pry.
Yeah, it's a French word that I'm not pronouncing correctly.
No idea.
The quality of the chocolate is amazing.
Chocolates.
Yeah. They look great.
They do.
Haven't tried them yet. Marty O'Reilly and
New Year's Eve.
Marty O'Reilly with
Still
Sean
time.
Carskadden and Hattie Craven. New Year's Eve at the Spastiani Theater. Go spastianitheater.org for tickets for that.
I know people have called here and they're like, "Yeah, I want to get tickets for wine club members." They're just
take the money and then we'll go buy tickets. Put them on the list.
What I love
$1,000 a ticket.
Right. Ticketmaster out of 707.
I'm scalping. I'm just gonna start scalping tickets.
Call now.
And the cool thing about that, rain or shine, we will do the pre-party New Year's Eve at the Tasting House starting about 6:00. Come by, have a glass of wine, hang out with the band members. We're gonna cajole Marty and Hattie and Sean and whoever to come hang out, and then we do a second line across the plaza from here to the Spastiani Theater. We'll probably go take over some other businesses that are open doing things. They loved us at Valley. And Bart's over here struggling.
You can probably hear it on the microphone. He spent the last 5 minutes trying to open that little.
The sound of all those champagne.
Like the Werther's original in the movie theater.
Second line to the theater.
God, that'd be so much
So
fun.
it's fun. It's a fun night.
That's New Year's?
New Year's Eve, downtown Sonoma.
Might have to come back.
Come back.
And then, is DTC sold out, or are we still trying to get people?
We're always trying to send
get
people
tickets?
to DTC. Come hang out with us in Monterey.
Yeah.
Buy us around at the, what's the name of the hotel?
Hyatt Regency.
We are so good at this.
Hyatt Regency. We're not sure. But yeah, I mean, just like Brooke was down here, I mean, you're basically talking about DTC. It's it's SFI, super fucking important.
Yeah, it's
if
really
you want to survive in the wine industry. So come hang out with us. We're going to learn shit, but we're also going to have people on the podcast. And that's actually how we learned some shit. I mean, I remember just over the last year, I've been talking about some things and I go, oh yeah, I learned that from the DTC symposium.
Awesome. I don't know.
Awesome.
The secret why I do the podcast in the first place is to learn how to make wine and do this business. Not for you,
Always
it's for
learning.
me.
Always learning.
Well, remember when we first started, Sam and I would look at each other and we'd say we should write this down. We're like, we don't need to write it down.
We're
It's
recording
recorded.
it.
All right, Brooke, thank you so
These
much.
chocolates are great. Thanks.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Michael.
Unbelievable chocolate.
Yeah, they're really good.
Go Pennsylvania.
Tell everyone we said hi.
Merry
Up
Christmas.
north.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. Same day this year.
I know, it's fantastic.
Hey.
Just light your candles. Have some ham and Christmas ham and latkes.
Baruch Hashem.
Totally. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you next week.